Hello class and Miss G. My name is Maximus Susi. Does anyone know what happens when two heads collide straight on? Yep, that's correct. A possible concussion. We're all in a sports communications class, so I assume that all of us have either played or still play a sport to this day, which means that we've all had a chance of getting a concussion or concussions. And a concussion is when the brain is sitting in the fluid of our heads and gets knocked around side to side, from the upper or the frontal or the sides, and gets bruised. And that's basically what a concussion is. And what triggers it will be like anything, any type of like sports, anything really actually will cause a concussion, any type of head movement, because like I said before, the brain sits in this fluid and there's not a lot to protect it. So it'll happen a lot of times in sports when you bump heads, blows to the head, just whiplash, any kind of head movement can really just kind of throw it off. And someone who's had to deal with a lot of concussions and brain trauma, who unfortunately passed away a little while ago at the age of 50 years old, Mike Webster, a former Pittsburgh Steeler. He also had an article written about him by Michael Lightstone, who further on went on about his Mike's brain trauma, CTE, and his death. And something I also thought was very interesting in his article, he brought up Mike Webster's doctor who analyzed him after the death, Bennett Amalu. He explained that all of the blows combined to Mike Webster's head was an equivalent to 25,000 automobile crashes, which is pretty crazy. And Mike Webster's position was it's called nose tackle, and he would go against the center, the guy who snaps the ball, and that's a lot of straight head collisions, and 25,000, that's a lot of automobile crashes. And a big reason for all this to happen, all the brain traumas that would happen back then, were because of the technology that they were limited to and all the helmets that they were limited to. So a lot of helmets have been developed and over the years. So I'd like to show 3 of my helmets that I've had since I was 8 years old, middle school, and my high school career. This one's the one that was 8 years old. It's called the 360 Speed. It has these little hexagon padding shaped things, and scientists believed that all the shapes of the hexagons that are closer together would prevent more of the concussions. And it also has a shock absorber right here on all of the face mask links, so it's gonna prevent more of the blows to the head. Then we got the Zenith from when I was in middle school. It has a lot more padding inside. A lot of these act as shocks, just like how it would over here, but they're bigger shocks and there's more padding inside of it to prevent the concussions. And then we got the 360, or we got the Speed Flex, which is, it gets its name from this little flex right here. This is what will take a lot of the blows, because this is where a lot of people will get hit. So there's that. There's the shock absorbers that I was talking about, and then there's a lot more padding on the inside. There's padding right here, and there's an extra layer of padding on the inside, and so that's all going to protect the player's head from getting a possible concussion. And something that scientists are trying to develop and make sure people won't get even more concussions is called the Guardian Cap. A lady named Catherine Breedlove did an article on this. Yeah, a lot of colleges are working with this right now, and they use it during practice. But she was talking about a test that they did for these Guardian caps. It's called the drop test, and they got one helmet that has the Guardian cap and then one helmet that doesn't, and they dropped both helmets on all sides, all angles, from the side, the front, or the top, the front, and the left side. So they had both drops, and the Guardian cap, like it was expected, took a lot more of the absorption from the hits, and is in a work in progress right now, and it is will soon to be a better technology for helmets for years to come.
At this time, I would like to thank all of you for listening to what a concussion is and what triggers it. Also, a man named Mike Webster, who dealt with a lot of concussions and tragically passed away because he had a lot of them. Lastly, the history behind football helmets and Guardian caps. Concussions are serious and are not a laughing matter anymore. It's real life. Protecting our bodies is a necessity. Like it's always been said, think smarter, not harder.